Hello everybody, it's Nicole Miles from Miles to Go Speaking and Consulting, and I'm coming to you again today with another Trauma-Informed Tuesday. Today I thought we might talk a little bit about what happens when the trauma actually does enter our space, and we're going to talk about that through the lens of one of our pillars, peer support. Trauma finds its way in real time into our workplaces all of the time, and that can be something really large. We're seeing a lot of natural disasters going on right now, so you may have a lot of employees that are being really impacted by something that is causing them to have some trauma, or there can be those individual but really hard life traumas, sick children, divorces, changes in personal life, elderly parents. All of these things can really affect somebody's day-to-day life. And, a trauma, there's the immediate trauma and there's the one that can last all along. Here's the thing. If you are an organizational leader and you try to put in trauma-informed practices in response to a trauma that's already happened, it may be too late. These are proactive tools. We want trauma-informed practices inside our organizations so that when trauma comes to our door, because it is part of the human experience and it is coming, we know how to deal with it. One of the easiest exercises that you can do to really start to foster some trauma-informed practices within your organization is something I call the strength audit. And I find this is a really interesting activity to do with organizations because a lot of us can name, we went through the interviews and that training where we could name our 3 top strengths, and most people can do this pretty easily, pretty quickly. But I would encourage you to do a little peer support activity where you start to ask someone to name 6 strengths. 6 is a great number because it's longer than the 3 that we kind of can wrap right off the top of our head. And a few people can get 4, but I find that the 5 and 6 is pretty rare. In fact, when I do this in trainings, it's usually less than a quarter of my room can actually do the 6 strengths inside a minute or 2. It's a really quick exercise. Set that one aside and ask them to do 6 strengths for the person to their right or the person to their left. They'll have 6 strengths done in about 30 seconds. We're really good at that. We're really good at knowing what other people around us are good at. Ask them to name 6 strengths of your organization. You'll be thrilled with the information that they come up with. This all becomes research for you as the organizational leader. One, we need to know where our individual employees see themselves and what work we need to do. We want them to be able to name those 6 strengths. The cross-share of, I had these 6 strengths about you, is really, really empowering. It creates a wonderful connection and it creates that peer support, which is our trauma-informed pillar today. You want that peer support because in the arc of having communication, having collaboration, having this trust, when this trauma comes to your door, especially if it's an individual trauma, you have somebody going through a divorce, you have somebody going through a major illness or having a loved one that has, you have somebody in a domestic violence situation, they need to know who they can go to. They need to know that it is okay to say, I may not be performing 100% right now, because our mission is productivity here also, but these are the people that I can lean on. These are the circle of people that I can trust. These are my collaborators. And by not shaming them because they already know what those strengths are too, this becomes a way we can support each other. We can lift each other up. We take some of that burden off. As the leader, you are not losing the activity that needs to happen in the productivity. You are nurturing the person who is experiencing trauma, and you are allowing a greater sense of trust in your organization, and that's going to lead to better retention, that's going to lead to better interaction, and that's going to lead to productivity. So use this strength to foster peer support as a great way to start the conversation on trauma-informed practices. Don't wait till the trauma comes to your door. And if I can help you, please reach out. I'm at milestogo.net.